Sentire Media.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 2, Episode 17. Hi everybody and welcome back to Venice Talks. Here is another episode and today I have another special guest talking to me and it is Lorenzo di Castro, the director of Scuola Internazionale di Grafica in Venice. Ciao Lorenzo, how are you?
Ciao, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No,
today.
Thank you for talking to us. It's getting harder and harder to find people that are willing to speak on a podcast in English. So thank you so much. Listen, first of all, let's explain to my listener what is the Scuola Internazionale di Grafica di Venezia, when it was founded, and a bit of history.
Well, the Scuola Internazionale di Grafica was founded in 1969, and we are a center for printmaking, book arts, and graphic design. We are an international center, of course, but we are attended also by Italian students and participants. Mm-hmm. We are a little bit unique as an institution in Venice because we are a little bit on the let's say on the pattern of an American art center and school.
Okay.
Because we have both education, exhibitions, and artist residencies. But I think we will have time as the program unfolds to explain better what we do.
So in 1969, were you one of the founders or you came much later?
No,
1969. Sorry, I just realized it's how old I am. Sorry. Hey, it shows you. Listen, I was born in 1969 and I was thinking it was like 20 years ago.
No, I was 9 years old.
Sorry about
1969. So I was. I wasn't one of the founders.
Okay, who were the founders then? Okay, let's get back.
The Scuola was founded by a group of artists, printmakers, gallerists. There was an art critique, and it thrived in the 70s because it was a period. There was like a boom of printmaking in Europe and in Italy. So there were important artists coming to work here at the Scuola. The Scuola had visiting artists such as Stanley Hayter, Henry Goetz, who were like leading printmakers in the 70s. And the Scuola organized exhibitions and courses and was attended by participants from all over Europe, I would say.
Okay.
And then as time passed, it evolved to a different kind of institution, but it always has offered courses for art lovers and for artists.
Now, this is very interesting that there is this kind of unique school in Venice, in a city that where printing for centuries was so important.
Yeah, well, it's not a case that the Scuola is in a place such as Venice, which was the capital of the printing industry during the Renaissance, and so we are always inspired by our location. Of course, this is very, very important. But there are many important printmaking centers in Italy, like Bisonte in Florence, for instance, which is an organization with which we collaborate. The Scuola is devoted to printmaking and book arts and to graphic design, and we have many students also from schools who come here and take workshops, and it's very interesting.
What's the average number of students that you have generally in a year?
Well, we have different programs. Well, let's say the Scuola basically has two different areas which interact. However, one is graphic design, and we offer a 2-year-long program in graphic design, in commercial graphic design.
Okay.
And every year we start with 23 new students.
Oh, okay.
So on average, we have 43 graphic design students during the academic year, which runs from October to May.
Okay.
Then we have continuing education programs for grown-ups who study printmaking and book arts here at the Scuola. And it's different to give numbers. So our workshops are attended by 8-10 students at a time.
Okay.
And then we have.
And how long do the workshop usually last?
Well, the workshops are intensive, immersive workshops. We used to run programs throughout all the academic year, but things have changed quite dramatically in Venice because this city has unfortunately lost most of its population.
Of course.
And so it is very difficult now to engage. And well, there's also social and economical reasons behind our change of programs, because it is now difficult for people to engage in activities which last the whole academic year.
Of course. It's hard to find a place to stay. That's what makes it even harder, because I was going to ask you about this. You got all these students, and housing is such a big problem in Venice. Must be a bit complicated to organize as well if you got them coming from all over the world.
We actually do not organize housing for the students.
No, I know you don't, but it must be hard for them, I suppose,
Well, it depends. It used to be very simple for our graphic design students, because we have many of our graphic design students who come from the Veneto region and from Friuli. Of course, they need to locate housing. It was a simple task for them, but now it is becoming difficult because Airbnb, the landlords, privilege very, very short rentals. So there is a housing problem all over Europe, I would say, not only in Venice. But they very often they team together and they find apartments which are convenient. So at the end they are able to find. Many of them go to the mainland also because it's more expensive. It's cheaper to go there, of course. And so the housing is an issue, but I'm sure that the issue was brought up by many of your guests during.
This is a recurrent. It's a recurrent. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whichever walks of life we're talking from. Is one thing. It's a big problem. We know. That's why I keep asking everybody. Just double confirm.
As I was mentioning before, our programs also needed to adapt to the social changes. There is to begin with, it is very important to understand the nature of the Scuola, because the Scuola is quite a unique experience in Italian cultural landscape. If you look on the web, you see cities such as Florence have many art schools, but they are only for foreigners. Whereas the Scuola has always served as a resource for the community.
Okay.
We have always had Italian and international students working together here.
You're a
The
bridge.
majority has always been,
You're a bridge between the two cultures.
rather than a
Yeah.
bridge, I would say we are a link.
Okay. Yeah.
We
Okay.
are a place where
Hey, I was playing on the bridges of Venice. I was trying to do a little pun on the view of Venice. But to consider we're on the internet, that's fine.
Yes, I
Link
was
with you.
trying to see things from a
More
more
modern.
contemporary perspective, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Scuola has always put together artists, professional artists, and art lovers
Mm-hmm.
from all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
and also from different generations, which is not a simple thing to do.
Absolutely.
So we have very often seen uh, college students
Okay.
from American university studying and working side by side with local you know, participants of
Mm-hmm.
80
Mm-hmm.
years old, say for instance,
Uh-huh.
and you see the 8 years old people learning how to use computer or internet from kids coming
Yes, of
from
course.
the United States or from Australia.
Uh-huh.
And so that has always been our challenge and
Eh,
our uniqueness, because you go to Florence, you find plenty of organizations which are
Uh-huh.
only offering activities to um, international students.
Of
So
course.
the Scuola is an art school,
Mm-hmm.
which in Italy is quite a rare thing because you only have academies or
Yeah.
some NGOs, some cultural associations,
Yeah.
which are very small in size and scope.
Mm-hmm.
So we are different in a way. Yes, I would say.
Very different, very unique. When the courses for international students are all held only in English, or also or just in Italian, or in other languages?
The courses for international schools are organized in both languages.
Okay.
We, but we have affiliations with American universities, and they come with their professors, and we also provide tuition. So that is entirely in English, of course.
Okay.
Then we organize workshops for groups, but we have Italian primary school students coming to take workshops, as well as study abroad programs. So we adapt to whatever we are requested to do.
Ah,
Our workshops, our immersive workshops are instructed in Italian,
okay.
but then we have Erasmus assistants who help translating into English
Uh-huh.
for international participants. So we have always been quite multicultural
Yeah,
here and multilingual.
must be very interesting walking in your classrooms and hear people talking all different languages. Listen, how do you incorporate the local traditions into the curriculum? How far back do you go? What's so particular about the Venetian printing tradition, maybe compared to other, from other part of the world?
Well, I think that printmaking has always been about innovation and experimentation. And so, yes, of course, Venice has always been very important as far as printmaking and publishing goes. But you apart from Aldo Manuzio and the
Mm-hmm.
Octave, but you cannot really talk about Venetian tradition in printmaking. There has
Mm.
been a school, but there were the techniques which were common to the whole of to any print shop in the Renaissance.
Okay.
So we, of course, uh, always look back at tradition, but in a contemporary way, because we are very careful and attentive about health and environment.
Of course.
And so we have completely adapted our print workshop to sustainable practices.
Okay.
So we are probably the most advanced Italian center as far as sustainable printmaking goes.
Okay.
So our
So
staff
recycling, I assume recycling paper.
Recycling paper as much as possible, but also avoiding acids, avoiding rosin in aqua tint, not using chemical solvents, but using inks that are washable with water and soap.
But it's so important in a city like Venice because, of course, everything then, one way or another, you have to throw it away and it'll end up, and, we all know the situation of Venice. Okay.
Yeah, but this is, we all know the situation in the entire world, I'm afraid.
I know.
Sustainable printmaking is very important, and it's a new trend in the printmaking world. And traditionally the materials used for printmaking are very toxic.
Okay.
And so entering a print workshop, you used to get all sorts of smells which you no longer get at the Scuola.
So good. So it's also good for your health because you're not breathing anything that you shouldn't be breathing.
Indeed, it's very important. This is very important. So our staff has studied sustainable printmaking in the United States, in Florence, Massachusetts, at ZMA's Printmaking, which is leading in these practices. And so our instructors are certified green printmakers. And this is very important because especially the international students who come are very, very, very sensitive to this subject.
Of course.
And we too.
I mean, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking to a researcher from the Polar Cap, from the North Pole, and he was saying he's a researcher on pollution in the world, but particularly in Venice, and he was saying to me that we don't realize how polluted the waters of the lagoon are. We just got no idea how polluted. So it's nice to know that there is, organization like yours that are so careful about, so centered on this. Listen, you were saying, of course, we were talking about the fact that you've got Italian students, foreign students, and so on. What kind of a partnership or initiative have enriched the educational experience of your students? What kind of, I know that you do exhibitions because I know that you organize these sort of things, but give us an idea, give me an idea what people can see when they come, if they come and see you, because of course I'm pretty sure after this people will want to come and see you. Where can they find if you got any exhibitions or any initiatives and so on?
Well, they can find it on our website to begin with, which is scuolagrafica.it. There is also an English version of the website, of course. And so our gallery program, we have SG Gallery, which is created by a British artist who is permanent resident artist at the Scuola. Her name is Deidre Kelly.
Thanks so much because she's the one that put us in touch.
Yeah,
so thank you.
She is opening a two-man exhibition, two-women exhibition today at the Lace Museum in Burano. And so she curates the exhibition and space which displays a variety of work, mostly in support to our activities, of course. So we have many printmaking exhibitions, we have book arts exhibitions. We also host student work, which is very important in a gallery, in the gallery of a school. And so like any gallery of art universities in the world, you have a program with visiting artists, and you have a program with the students, of course. We have had very important exhibitions, and I would mention one which will open in July, which is the Premio Sciascia Amateur de Stamp, which is probably the most important printmaking prize in Italy.
Okay.
It opens at it opens. I don't remember this year where it's going to open. I don't remember whether here or in Rome. Anyway, this is an exhibition which moves to different sites.
Okay.
Here at the Scuola in Venice, at the Bisonte Foundation in Florence,
Okay.
at the Istituto Centrale per la Grafica, Cartografia Nazionale in Rome, which is the state organization for printmaking. Then it goes to Fondazione Federica Galli in Milan, and it ends at Castello Sforzesco in Milan.
Okay.
I forgot to mention the Museo per la Carta e la Filigrana in Fabriano.
Of course.
And so it ends at the Castello Sforzesco.
Okay, nice.
And the prints are donated to the Collezione Achille Bertarelli at Castello Sforzesco. So this is a very important exhibition, which mostly features traditional printmaking. Currently, we are having a beautiful exhibition of international collective of printmakers, which is called Prism International. And so this is as opposed to Premio Sciascia, it's more contemporary, more experimental. We are affiliated with the Triennial of the Book Arts Triennial of Vilnius. We just had a beautiful exhibition of artist books. And so
you do a lot.
Well, this is dead, right? She's doing a lot.
Vabbè, you do a lot as a school. Right. Right. What I want to know though is where about are you? Because when I discovered you, I thought, what? I never seen you. Where in which? Well, first of all, you're in Cannareggio, are you?
We are in Cannareggio, yes.
But where about?
We are very close to the Vaporetto stop of San Marcuola.
Okay.
In a calle which is called Calle Seconda del Cristo.
Okay, but past there, but it's a small door, is it?
It is like Venice, like many sites in Venice. It's a surprise door. It's a small door for a huge space.
Okay, because I pass there sometimes and I never noticed it. And when I saw the address, I thought, no, Google must have got it wrong. Because I never noticed it.
Google often gets wrong addresses in Venice.
I know.
They get crazy because here in Venice, the streets are organized in a different way than the rest of Italy. So the name of the calle means nothing. And I have spent quite a lot of time correcting the address, which was often displayed in wrong names, wrong streets.
Of course.
A mess.
So
but
you are
the
little street there. It's got if you're like it's not like a palace, is it? It's more like a proper.
It's a former warehouse. It's a former warehouse, which is quite rare in the historic center of Venice.
Exactly.
So it's a very precious space.
So very large and very high and wide, I assume. Yes,
it's high and wide. We have different blocks.
Okay.
And the print shop is roughly 400 square meters with beams, skylights. It's a beautiful place to visit.
Wow. Okay.
And we have ancient presses. We have a beautiful garden.
What's the oldest ancient press you got?
870.
Oh la la! Wow. Okay.
It's a vertical plating press
and you're still using it? You're still using it?
Of course.
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking, Oh, cool.
We are like
a living museum.
A living museum, yes, exactly.
Well, no, but it's beautiful. I mean, and listen, it's still working nearly 200 years later, and you're using certain stuff, and 3 days later breaks down. With technologies nowadays.
Well, it's when we have young students, young prospective students visiting the Scuola, we take them to the print workshop and we introduce them to the computer room of the Renaissance because the presses have had the same impact on communication that the internet is having today,
Of
and
course.
computers are having today, or probably even more in a
Of course.
society which knew nothing about communication and shared ideas.
Of course.
So the place is really fascinating, but
I
it
know.
is functioning. It is fully
Can
functioning.
people actually can they come and see the exhibitions there if they want to, or the school is only open for the students on a
No,
when they
no,
come?
we have many visitors,
Okay.
many visitors, and the gallery is open and free.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, good. And they can find
Great.
all the information on the website that we
They can
give.
find information on the exhibitions. They can come and they're welcome to visit.
Mhm.
Sometimes the gate is closed. All they need to do is ring the bell,
Okay,
and it will be open.
okay. Listen, hold on, lost my questions here. Right. Okay. So, in what ways do you support the professional development of your graduates? Do you give them opportunities to showcase their work to a broader audience later, once they leave the school? Do you put them in touch maybe with other, you know, with other, organization and so on? Or
Yeah. So let me clarify. Our graduates are our graphic design students
yes.
because this is our only program which lasts 2 years, and it's not based on shorter term courses. At the end of the program, it's I think if I'm not wrong, is 1,200 hours in the 2 years.
Okay.
We organize internships for them in agencies.
Okay.
However, we need to be very careful about this because, unfortunately, in Italy, we have a situation where firms and industries exploit youngsters
yes.
and on never-ending internships.
Absolutely.
And so we are very careful in selecting agencies where our students have a chance then of being employed, because it's very important that the internships are useful to them, useful for their professional outcome. So yes, we are very careful with this. We have one of our collaborators who spends quite a long time in selecting and organizing internships for our students.
For the international ones as well, or just for the Italian ones?
No, the international students arrive with their universities on study abroad programs. So we provide a space for them to do part of their studies, but we are not involved with their professional future. No.
Listen, in all these years, since 1969, the school must have seen, let's say, thousands of people. Has anybody gone to become somebody really, I don't know, really famous in design, or I don't know, in graphics or so on? Or is usually just people go back to work and is a proper job and not just being an artist?
No. We have educated and we have been part of the education of students who then became artists and graphic designers.
Okay.
They are not world famous, I guess, because I don't know whether mentioning them would make any difference to the listeners.
Well, depends who's listening. As usual,
yeah,
know
but
to who
they
knows it.
are established. We have many of our students now are university professors teaching.
Okay.
We have many of them are very, very well established graphic designers.
Okay.
yes, we are not a place where people come for. Of course, we have people who come here for leisure. We have people who have different jobs.
Of course.
We have adults, so we are also continuing education. But if we talk about a graphic design program, for instance, I would say about 80-90% now are professionals.
Wow, that's big. That's big. That's in a world where people go to school and generally never end up doing what they want to do. This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, well, we don't have any kind of accreditation. We are not a formal university, so we are not a credit granting institution. So the fact that we are still around is due to the quality of our programs.
Of course.
Hey,
55 years.
We wouldn't be there.
Well, you probably are you one of the oldest schools in the city of Venice? Probably.
We have probably the only one, I'm afraid.
Well, of your type, yes, but one of the
our
oldest.
Type, yes. We are a school and a studio for artists.
Yeah.
We are very, it's not simple to describe the Scuola because we do so many different things.
I know you're a hub. That's what you are.
Yeah, in a way, yes. We are probably we are the only studio where I think just a moment I had a little problem with the audio. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear every so often, but that's okay.
Okay, so we are the only place where an artist can come and work from minute one. Find everything, find the facilities, find the studio, find the equipment, find qualified assistants. And in a city such as Venice, which is full of, it has a huge offer of museums, exhibitions.
Oh my God, yes.
But always to come and look at. But if you are talking of working as an artist, as a practicing artist, we are the only ones. Otherwise, you will see a lot of people going around the streets with their easels, painting,
That's
drawing.
True. You're
but
right.
We are the only studio.
Okay.
Which is, it's in a way it's a little bit sad because Venice should be full of opportunities for artists to come and work.
Yeah, there should be more. I mean, when they, amongst the things that people say how to bring back life into the city, more organization like yours should be brought out to life in Venice, not just about arts, about other things, but this kind of school where it's hands-on. You really go and learn. It's not just about, as you say, just or maybe just do like a 2 days course and then you're done. Absolutely. Listen, one question that it just popped to my mind right now. What impact did it have the fact that now everything is online and less, printing on paper? Obviously, I realize you are up to date with all the technology and stuff like that, but what impact has it had, nitty gritty, just at the end? Because that's a huge cut on, everybody downloads the books, ebooks now, nobody prints paper anymore.
Well, as usual, you have tendencies and you have counter tendencies. I love to read books on an ebook reader because it's handy, because they are easy to go to take with you, because you can read 1,000 pages book without carrying it physically with you. But so the more the world becomes digital, the more people have passion for paper, for printed objects, so probably, as I see it for the future, this digitalization goes to our advantage.
Okay.
Because we preserve traditions, and the more the world gets digital and new, the more tradition acquires value.
Okay. So finally, what advice would you offer to any inspiring artist or designer who are considering to get an education, to pursue an education at your Scuola Internazionale di Grafica? What should they do? How do they apply? And so on and so on. And what advice would you give them?
Well, I am always a little bit reluctant when it comes to giving advice. I would rather accept advice from other people who could tell us how we can improve, how we can get better. The Scuola we have always tried to be very transparent. So the application processes are clearly listed on our website. Costs also are listed clearly. We try not to hide anything, you know. We're not the kind of people who says, email us and then we'll tell you how much it costs. Costs are clearly listed everywhere. And what is very important is that the Scuola is a place where students come and study and work, artists come and work without any other major issues. This is a place, it's a creative place, it's a productive place where people can receive tools to use them in life, both professionally and in the everyday life. We have always given tools without trying to explain people how to live in this world.
I understood. I totally understand what you're trying to say. It's fantastic, great. Listen, finally, where can they find you? The website and on social medias, so people want to look for you.
So the website is www.scuolagrafica.it, and social medias are linked from our website. But if you just digit Scuola Internazionale di Grafica, you will find everything, I guess.
You're everything.
Yes.
Lorenzo, I don't know how to say thank you. It was a beautiful conversation. Can't wait to come and see you and find that door. Find that door first.
Yeah. It's a surprise door. It opens to a new world.
I know. I mean, because I looked at the photos of you on the website, and I thought, where is this place that is so big? And I thought, but no, I walked through there. I'm pretty sure there is nothing like that. Okay, listen, I'm definitely going to have to come and see you, all of you. And I'm definitely going to try to make a point to go and see the exhibition in Burano. Thank you again for talking to us. Wow, guys, this is definitely a new place to go and visit when you are in Venice. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Ciao.
A presto. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you again, Lorenzo, for the lovely chat. You can find Lorenzo at www.scuolagrafica.it and on all social medias at Scuola Grafica Venezia. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you loved this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. and we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.
Sentire Media,